shit. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Can everybody hear me? Everything working all right? Let me know before I get started. Yeah. Alright guys, well I hope everything's working alright. My name is War Dragon, I'm the host, and welcome to my show, Words of War. This is episode 4 today, and man, I am seriously excited about this episode because I definitely have more information today than I ever have. I am going to flood you with all things support today. When it comes to the support role, you will know everything there is to know about it by the end of today. So it's going to be a very, very useful episode for all of those of you who are trying to learn that support role. So that being said, I'm going to crack into it in 1 second, but I would like to jump into some other stuff. I've been picking up followers, and I've gotten a lot of hits on YouTube and stuff like that recently, so I'm hoping to pick up the follower base. And if the follower base gets picked up as much as I'm thinking it will in the next couple of weeks, I'd really like to start doing a few things. I've got some really neat ideas for the video, for the episodes, and we're going to start them hopefully after next episode. Starting on the 6th episode, I am going to do that character breakdown, and I'd love if you guys could email me and send me information to wardragon@gmail.com, or you can post them on my stream, or you can send me emails to my YouTube site. But I want votes on what characters you guys would like to know about, because I'm going to do full developments of specific characters. So for instance, I really want to do one on Lulu because it seems I've gotten a lot of feedback that people want to know exactly what Lulu's capable of and how to use her, because she has so many decisions because of her multiple uses and her skills. So if I was going to do Lulu, I'd have a full breakdown on the character. Items that worked, items that didn't work, characters that counter her, characters that she's good against, what's ADCs that she makes a strong partner to, and how to play her in lane and how to properly use her throughout the game. And this would give somebody a complete breakdown on the character they want. So you can send me any character you want, and the characters that get the most attention, I will happily do a full development guide to. So we are definitely going to push that. Also, come episode 10, I'm going to be doing a giveaway in a very interesting form. It won't be the form that most people are used to. I don't think it'll be the form that I'm choosing to do, but I'm going to do trivia. And I'm going to be hosting trivia at the beginning of my episodes. I'm going to have one question, and for all the people watching it live, they're going to be able to... 1 second. They're going to be able to answer the question in stream, and when they answer the question, the person closest to the answer is going to get a $10 RP card. So hopefully that'll go over well, and a lot of people can use that properly. But that's my attempt to raise my live viewer base, because I really love having the live viewers, because having those questions at my hand really help things out. But I have had a lot of people watching the videos, so don't worry. I won't stop making the videos. Keep watching the videos. If that's the way you can do it. Not everybody can show up, especially at 8 p.m. on a Friday. But the schedule will be changing, and I'll get that out as soon as possible. That being said, let's go ahead and get right into this, and we're going to break into my development of support here. Bam, right here. So while we do this in, this is one of my replays, and I am playing Lulu in this. I don't really want you to focus on me, though, because this replay, we're not actually really going to be going over the replay. We're not going to be going over my plays. We're not going to be going over what I did right or what I did wrong. All we're really going to be doing is making sure that we are developing the topics that I'm going to talk about. So as that's loading, thanks to Misery2102 from the Reign of Gaining forums, I have a ton of information. He's a Plat 1 European West support full of knowledge, and he has really thrown a lot of it at me, so I really want to thank Misery for all of that. But what we want to start with here are the 4 most important parts of playing a support. And a lot of people seem to break this down improperly, but the 4 most important parts to playing a support are keeping the ADC safe, to enable farming for your ADC, to deny farming for the enemy ADC, and to enable kills for your ADC. That is what you do as a support. And you probably ask, like, well, hey man, you didn't say warding. But I did say warding. I said keep your ADC safe. So what we're going to do is make sure that our objective with keeping the ADC safe, it encapsulates all the different aspects of that role. So the first thing that we need to make sure of is that we're preventing as much harass and damage to the ADC as possible, that we're warding as much as possible so that we can avoid ganks, and so that we're keeping the major dangers away from the ADC. So what are the dangers, you ask? Obviously, ganks are a danger, right? We worry about that enemy jungle, and that's an important aspect of being a support, is really paying attention to where that jungle is. Where's the jungle? Is the jungle at top? Can we play a little more aggressive? Maybe I should let my ADC know, because my ADC may be tunnel visioning and focusing on only CS and his trades with the opposite ADC. Is the support, is the jungle missing? Have I not seen the support for a while? Wow. Oh, that's loud. Let me turn that down for you guys. Have I not seen their jungle for a while? Maybe he's down by me. Maybe I need to be worried about that. So those are all important things to keep in mind. So while we go over this replay, I'm going to do some stuff on what I find to be the most important thing, and that is what I would like to call the zones. So let me bring this up for you guys. So we have all these zones that we talk about, and everybody hears about zoning, but nobody really understands what zoning is, right? So we're going to go into zoning in one sec so that I can do you guys a favor and not block the mini-map here. There we go. So what we want to go over as a support is how we deal with such aspects that are rough on us, like zoning. And here's the beauty of it. When you're a support, you're always in a zone. There are multiple different zones. Okay, so map awareness is hard to develop, but important. Yes, map awareness is extremely important. It is hard to develop because a lot of people don't want to take their mind. Oh, great. Okay, well, this game glitched, so I'm going to reload it one more time, and we'll see if it reloads. If not, I can use a different game because it's not that important. I just like this one because I know for a fact there's some really good shit in it. So one of the most important things to remember as a support is that you are always in a zone. There are 4 zones that a support has. Oh, I'm sorry about that, man. Don't worry, dude. You'll get it next time, bro. Trust me. You'll get it next time. It happens, dude. Plat 3, one of my buddies just told me that he didn't get promoted. You know what? I had five different attempts on Plat 3 that I failed, and then I finally got it in on the 6th one. There's a lot to take into account, and, you know, just ask yourself if it was you or if it was the trolls, man. And when you find out if it was you, improve your play and carry harder. Okay, so the zones. There's 4 different zones for a support to be in. The first zone is the worst zone, and that's called the negative zone. The negative zone is a zone where you're not in any useful zone, okay? And the 3 useful zones we'll go into. The first zone is a defensive zone. The defensive zone is the zone that you're in when you can take care of your ADC. If I'm Lulu and my ADC is Ezreal, like we have in this game coming up, if that's the case, a defensive zone would be a zone where I'm in range to shield and ultimate him to speed him up if I need to, or take care of him. That's the defensive zone. So that's usually going to be based around the AoE that I have. So what's my area of impact? As opposed to the AoE, what's my AoI? What's my area of impact? How can I reach him? How far does my shield reach? How far can I get with my skills? Is he inside that? Then I'm in the right zone for defensive zone. If he's outside of that, am I able to respond fast enough to take care of him? If not, I'm not in a defensive zone. The second zone is an offensive zone. As a support, an offensive zone is once again my area of impact for my offensive skills. Again with that volume, but I can't turn it down because I think alt-tabbing is what screwed up the game. If I am in an offensive zone, I'm in an area of impact where I can impact the opposite team. There we go. Now it's loaded, so let me go ahead and turn that volume down for you guys because it's a little bit high. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up and get us in a lane, and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, good. I'm glad you can hear everything and everything sounds good. Alright, so once I get in a lane, I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to go over the zones. The last zone is what I will be dubbing the Ven zone. And the reason I'm calling this the Venn zone is because it's like a Venn diagram, guys. You'll get it in just a second. But the Venn zone is when you're in both the offensive and defensive zone. So we're going to go ahead and do this and show you exactly where you should be as a support and where you shouldn't be. And I'm going to pause it right here. Take a look at what I've paused and look where each character is. Right now, the Janna is in a defensive zone. She's within range to cast all of her skills to help her MF. If she picked any of her skills, she can cast them. She can shield her. She can tornado or cyclone to make sure that we can't get to them. And she can slow one of us if we get in range of that MF. In a defensive area, she'll be fine for that. But in an offensive area, what can she do to aggress my ADC? Look how far she is from Ezreal. Unless she charges a full Cyclone, she's not going to reach him with a Cyclone. And if Ezreal gets in a trade with MF, all that Janna is going to be able to do is impact MF. She's not going to be able to impact her. She's barely going to be able to impact me at my position. However, look at my position right now. I can cast any of my skills on Ezreal. And if MF wants to come in at all, any bit closer to Ezreal, I'm going to be in an offensive zone because I'm going to be able to impact that MF, causing it to be a 2-on-1 situation. One of the things people need to remember is when you're playing in a bottom lane, you need to imagine that every trade that the enemy ADC makes should turn into a 2-on-1 in your favor for about 3 to 5 seconds. That's it. Pushing that limit is what we would consider an all-in. If you're going to push that limit, you're making a full trade and you better be ready to all in. If you don't, you're allowing the other team to do everything that they can do to you and get a 2-on-2, which can put you on the bottom of a trade as opposed to taking the trade. So I'll let it play out for a little bit and we'll just watch, and I'll pause it again when the positions change. You know what, I'm actually going to pause it right here. We're going to touch on the brush too really quick. Something that a lot of people don't seem to pay too much attention to is how important that bottom brush is. Now there's a ward in this bottom brush so they can see me, but if there wasn't a ward in this bottom brush, what I now have is visionary control. They wouldn't be able to see me and I'd be able to walk up and down that brush at my leisure and decide where I want to be. As a Lulu, that's a powerful tool. As a Janna, that's a powerful tool. Not quite as powerful as for certain characters like Blitzcrank, Thresh, and Leona, where you not seeing me start a skill shot can be the difference between life and death. However, with a Lulu, my ability to walk up and down this brush is extremely useful because I could, if there wasn't this ward here, walk up the brush, slap a slow on Ezreal once that shield wears out, or on MF, and allow Ezreal to get an attack and a Q in on the trade while MF tries to run. That's 3 attacks. My Q plus an attack from Ezreal plus an auto or a Mystic shot from Ezreal. And if I manage to get an attack in there, that's 4 hits on MF. Remember to take it into consideration what can threaten my ADC in lane. Right now in this exact lane, as Ezreal, he's threatened by a few things. He's threatened by MF's auto attack, by MF's slow, and by MF's Q, that bouncing attack, the bouncing shot which has the ability to hit him behind. He's also threatened by Janna's auto attack, Janna's cyclone, and Janna's slow. Those are all the threatening things to Ezreal. My job as a support is to make sure that Ezreal takes as little damage from those threats as possible. And if I have the ability to negate them by not allowing him to take the damage with proper zone control. And as we go on in this game, you'll see some really nice zone control made by me and Janna. But I'd like to point out some position stuff. And in a second here, there's going to be a trade. We saw that MF just got a harassment attack on Ezreal, and that's beautiful. Take what you can get. Ezreal has a Doran's Blade, so it won't take him too long to leech back that 40 or 50 health that she actually took from him. But those are important things for an ADC. And as a support, you have the same exact obligation to be harassing like that. So let's continue. Now, we saw Janna move up. My assumption here was that Janna was going to plant a ward. What I want is that isolation. If Janna isolates herself from MF on the side, we have a huge advantage. Because Janna may run if I start putting the pressure on her, or she may have to go back. But if she stops to turn on me, I'm going to have to force MF to cross the creeps, come over to our side and start dealing damage, while Ezreal is safe behind me, giving me the ability to kind of control the situation.